interview with Constance Dallaire, winemaker and brand ambassador for Champagne Lallier. We are go in 3, 2, 1.
Hey Happy Champers, it's Marnie from Bubble and Flute here, and I am super excited because I have a very special guest this afternoon with me for this Facebook Live. We have Constance from Dallaire from the Champagne House of Lallier, and she is doing a whirlwind tour of Australia and New Zealand, and we are so lucky that she's with us for this afternoon. So we're going to have a chat with Constance about her background and the Champagne House, and then we're going to have a little mini tasting with her as well. So you're not going to hear too much from me. It's going to be mostly hearing from Constance in her beautiful French accent, and she'll probably pick me up on all the ways I generally destroy the French language. So bienvenue, welcome. And let's just start by telling Happy Champers, that's what I call my followers, because in Australia we have this thing where we say, I'm a happy camper.
Yeah.
Have you heard that before?
No, never.
It just means, I'm a happy camper, means everything's going well, I'm really happy. So I've turned it into Happy Champers, so that explains why I say that at the beginning of all my videos. So kick off by introducing yourself to Happy Champers who follow Bubble and Flute.
So I'm Constance Dallaire, as you say already, and I'm an enologist and a brand ambassador for Champagne Lallier. So, but first I grew up in Bordeaux, and because I come from Bordeaux, and I made all my studies in Bordeaux. So I always used to work for red wine, and after Bordeaux I moved in South Africa, and then I wanted to start to work for Champagne, because in fact I really enjoy to drink Champagne. And I think the blend in Champagne is just amazing and very interesting, so I really wanted to see how we can do it.
Fantastic.
Yes, it's a lot of...
Are there some similarities between winemaking for Bordeaux or Bordeaux Burgundy and winemaking for Champagne?
Actually, for red wine, in Bordeaux and in South Africa it's all the same. You have, a lot of work in the vineyards, so as for Champagne, but you have more work in the cellar, because as you know you have to do some pump over, some pigeage, and so you have to extract tannin, color, and a lot of things for red wine, but you don't do it for white wine, because you don't, in fact for the white wine, so for the Champagne, you pick the grape and you directly gonna press after to pick the grape, and because you don't want in fact some colors, and you don't want tannin, so it's not the same thing. But after for the blend, you have more cuvée who are gonna be on the Champagne, because you have the cuvée from the year, so the wine from the year, and because we have 55 vats in our cellar, it's a lot of aromatic profile, so a lot of things for the blend, but we have also the reserve wines. So it's like last time I took a picture about when we do the first step for the blend, and it was like 50 bottles at least, and it's just amazing. So it's the first one, and after, but you test like every day and every week, because you can't do it in one time, it's impossible. And for red, you have also some blend to do, but still it's smaller, but it's also different. So both are very interesting.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's fantastic. And so can you tell us a little bit about the house? It's not going to show very well because the light is so bright, and it's going to be backwards there. So, but tell us a little bit more about where you work now, which is Champagne Lallier.
Yeah, exactly. So for this one, we are located in Aix. And it was founded in 1906 by René Lallier. And in 1936, Aix was classified as Grand Cru, and you have just 17 villages classified as Grand Cru, and and it's just 5% of the production in Champagne. So it's a very good sign of quality when you just produce your wine from this grape area. So yeah, we are very focused on Grand Cru. So we always want to select the cream of the crop. We say la crème de la crème.
Yeah, oui.
And so for that, we just work with Chardonnay and Pinot Noir, because you don't have Pinot Meunier on Grand Cru village. Even if you have good Champagne, of course, with Pinot Meunier, but us, we prefer to work with Chardonnay and Pinot Noir, because as you know, the Pinot Noir gonna bring the full body, and the Chardonnay is nice freshness and the minerality. But when it's mature, gonna bring also some creamy aroma, like brioche aroma, and so it's very elegant and very good Champagne as well.
So you don't use any Pinot Meunier?
No.
Which is not. I mean, it happens, but it's not
no,
common.
It's
is
rare.
it?
Yeah, exactly.
It's rare
yeah.
that you don't.
Normally,
use.
they all the bigger champagne house they all use like 3 varieties, and they also use some vines from Premier Cru because they produce more than 1 million bottles, so they can't just work with the Grand Cru Village. And us, because we produce like 450,000 bottles, 450,000 bottles. We can keep up the quality like this. So it's very good.
Yeah, no, that's super exciting.
And yes, for all the range as well, we produce our own yeast. It's wild yeast. In fact, we're gonna come from one of our best parcel in we call it Loredon. It's in Haï, and so it's the wild yeast gonna create some natural sulfur. So like this, we can add less sulfur, and it's very important because many persons are very sensitive about sulfur, and me, I am. So so for this one, we put definitely less compared to other champagne house as well.
And champagne compared to wine, so just so I can explain it to some of the followers, is that sulfur is used to help preserve wines, is that correct?
Yeah.
And there's generally less sulfur in champagne than there would be in still wine? Not necessarily?
No, not necessarily. It's like you always put more sulfur on white grape, on white wine, and a little bit less on red. But after, no, it depends. For example, in Alsace, you're gonna use a lot of sulfur. In Champagne, no, not a lot, and especially for our Champagne house. And after in red, now everybody try to use like the less sulfur that they can. Like it's we call it raisonné, viticulture and viniculture, viticulture and vinification raisonnée. When you take care about the sulfur and you don't use like a lot. If you use a lot, it's really very good. But it depends on the wineries, of course.
And founded in 1906, which for us in Australia is a really, really long time, but for Champagne, maybe not so long.
Some I don't remember the Champagne house, the older one. I think it was in 1836 or 50, something like that.
Yeah.
So it's in fact it's not so long after, but it's
not
still
too long.
Yeah. But and it's. So at the beginning, it was that was the same champagne house, and it was owned by 2 brothers, and they both wanted to do their own champagne. So they separate the vineyards, and they did René Lallier did Champagne Lallier, and the other one did Dutch. So it's so it's still a good sign of quality as well, and it's very famous in Champagne. And in 1996, the owner now. And cellar master used to work as a consultant with René James Lallier, the grandfather, the owner grandson. Sorry. He knew this champagne house since a long time. And in 2004, when the grandson owner wanted to sell the champagne house because he didn't get any children, so he wanted to sell it. He asked to Francis Tribault, and of course he said yes because. It's a very lovely champagne house, and because he's a man from the terroir and he comes from Champagne, and he was already owner of vineyards in Champagne, so he could buy it. So he did it, and it's a very good choice.
And how long have you been with Lallier?
Me since 1 year.
Okay.
So it's very new, and but it's I don't want to leave.
I bet. And what's your favourite part of working in Champagne? I know it'll be hard to pick just one.
Obviously I love traveling and speak about the brand, but I love to speak about the brand because I participate during blend, so it's an harvest, so that's 3 parts. It's everything. I wanted to find a work where I could participate during harvest and blend, and one after I can travel and traveling and explain why is it a good quality and why the aroma of this champagne and why you have to taste Champagne Lallier and not just be focused on big brand, because you have so many wine and champagne to test, so just test everything.
Everything. I completely agree.
More you test, more you will know, and it's better.
And do you have a favourite style of champagne?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I love Chardonnay, but when it's mature, like when it's you have deeper note of maturity. So I love Blanc de Blanc, but this one especially, and I will explain you why. Because in fact on this one, normally other champagne house they put all the grape from La Côte des Blancs, so it's a very famous area. And us, we put 60% from Aï. So normally Aï, it's for the Pinot, it's a terroir for Pinot Noir. So you will have a full body Chardonnay, so it's more rich. But because we put 40% of the Chardonnay from La Côte des Blancs, we always put all the village on the back label, because for us it's very important for you to know.
Absolutely.
And so you will have a creamy and a rich Chardonnay, Blanc de Blanc, but still with a nice freshness and minerality, because it's a mix of two terroirs. So it's very good, and it's aged 4 years on lees. So you will have very rich brioche aroma. It's very creamy, and I love me when you have champagne like this, when you have aroma, complexity, when it's rich. So I will love the vintage as well.
Yes.
But the brut, because it's I will explain after, but you have complexity as well. And we did something very new for this one, very innovative. We are the only person who work with our brut like this. So it's very interesting as well. So in fact,
shall we just start talking about the champagnes now, since I've started to introduce you down that line?
So for this one, we call it R013. I don't know if you can
see that now.
So in fact, on the label, R, that means harvest in English, and récolte in French. And in other countries, they call it as well revolution, because we are the only champagne house who used to work like this. So in fact, normally for brut, non-vintage, you put 30 or 40% of reserve wines. Like this, every year you get the same product. Excuse me. Every year you get the same product. And us, in fact, we want to work our champagne as wine, because at the beginning it's wine.
Absolutely.
So in fact, we put at least 80% from the grape of the year, and after less than 20% of reserve wine. So for example, in the R013, we will put 83% of the grape from 2013. Yes. So it's like a small vintage, in fact. Except for a real vintage, we put 500% of the grape from the year.
Yes. Yeah.
But us, we are the only person to do it. So it's very interesting, and it's very important because like this, every year you will have a different brut non-vintage, so you can do a vertical, like for wine, and it's gorgeous. Honestly, I did it a lot for diner, for business work, and do you want to test it?
Oh, yes. we certainly do. That's really interesting, and even to be able to know that's the base year, because a lot of the time when we drink non-vintage, even though it has a base year, there's not information about what the base year might be on the label, and and you don't even get the degorgement date a lot of the time, so it's hard for us to know what the base year might be. Oh, that's interesting.
And on this one, we put everything, and if you like, so the disgorging date as well, and if you like a champagne like very fresh with fresh fruit, you will drink a champagne with a disgorging date like young. And if you want to wait, but because we put a disgorging date, you will know, and you can wait like a couple of months or a year, and you will get more deeper of maturity.
And would you do the same? So normally, you would drink non-vintage champagne, you wouldn't cellar it for, terribly long. Would you be able to do that with this one, or would you still drink it relatively fresh?
It depends on what you like, because it's already aged. It's aged 3 years only, so you can drink it now. But of course, you can wait some like 1, 2, or even 3 or 4 years, because it's 83% from the grape of the year, so it's not just reserve wine. So you can keep it, of course, but why wait?
Why wait? Exactly. So even as you poured that, I was sitting here and I
could drink it now.
Exactly, I could smell it as you were pouring it. It just smells amazing.
It's really good. And on this one, we put 44% of Chardonnay, and we always put for all the range more Pinot Noir.
Yep.
To get more full body.
Yeah.
And but we put for the R013 more Chardonnay, because it was a year like a colder year, and so the maturation was slower. So it was better for Chardonnay this year compared to R012. For R012, everything was perfect. So in fact, we put like a little bit more Pinot Noir, but for this year, Chardonnay was better. So that's why it's nice. Every year we can do something different. And
that is beautiful. If I was drinking that in a blind tasting, not knowing anything about it, I don't know if I'd pick it as a non-vintage.
Yeah, no, exactly.
I would probably be more
Yeah.
inclined to say I'm drinking vintage champagne.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Because it's aged, you have so many aroma, and it's wonderful. And yesterday we did a big diner, and you can drink it for aperitif, but also to come back with this same wine for dessert, you know, because it's very fresh. It's gonna clean your palate, and it's very good when you eat and to clean your palate at the end. And there's this freshness. It's not too heavy, so it's very
It's
good.
beautiful. And what's the dosage?
It's for this one. It's 7.
7.
For all the range, we always use a subtle dosage because we don't want, you know, when you add some sugar, you're gonna change the wine, the taste of your wine.
Yeah, absolutely.
So us, we don't want to change the taste of our wine. We really want to keep the terroir taste, and it's our style, our taste. So that's why.
It's absolutely beautiful. I've had before the vintage, the 2008, but it's all I've tried from your range. So I'm in love.
Oh, you will see. Yeah. No, definitely, it's really good.
Absolutely delicious. Wow, that's fantastic.
So now we're gonna test the Blanc de Blanc.
Let me go and get us some more glasses from over here. You can keep talking about the
you want to
wine
change?
while
Okay.
yeah, okay.
So for this one, so it's Blanc de Blanc. I don't know. Well, it's Blanc de Blanc. And so this one, 60% from the grape come from Haï. So normally it's a terroir for Pinot Noir, as I said before. So you will have Chardonnay more round, more rich, and 40% come from La Côte des Blancs. And we always put all the village on the back label, like this. It's, if you want to know it and if you are interested, you can check. And we put the disgorging date as well, because if you like Chardonnay Blanc de Blanc fresher and with more fresh fruit on the nose, you will drink with a disgorging date very young. And if you want Blanc de Blanc more rich, more creamy, more buttery, you can wait at least 1 or 2 years after the disgorging date. So yeah, it's aged 4 years on lees. I will pour it now. And because we use our own yeast as well, it's I don't know how we get. I will put this here. Because we use our own yeast, so it's also a unique style, you know. So it's very important for us.
So can you tell me a little bit more about what that means to use your own yeast?
But in fact, you know, normally for the yeast, you can buy it at the laboratory. So it's good yeast as yet, but also but it's in fact that can change the taste of your wine. You know, for red, for example, you can buy some yeast. You're gonna develop more fruity aroma, stuff like this. And so if you use your own yeast, who come from one of our parcels, it's our own yeast or own terroir, or it's a unique taste, and that's gonna produce less because the yeast produce natural sulfur. We will use less sulfur, so it's always better for when it's wide.
I'm just going to do another quick intro because I didn't quite start my Instagram live. I tried to be a little bit clever today. Clearly I'm not very good at it. And we're going live from Facebook at the same time as we're going live from Instagram. So I have 2 phones set up here. And when I started earlier in the broadcast, Facebook Live went fine. Instagram, I didn't hit the start button quite as quickly as I should have. So just for anybody, and I can see there are people watching us on Instagram Live, so hi. We'll just do another quick intro. So I have Constance Delea from the House of Lallier with me this afternoon. She's doing a tour of Australia and New Zealand in her role as brand ambassador for the champagne, and we've just been talking a little bit about her background and the house, and now we're getting into the good stuff, which is having our tasting. So we have just finished the do you say R013? Is that how you would call it?
As we say R013, yeah.
Okay.
But some people here say R13, or it's the same. Right? In fact, you just have to say R and the number of the year. Yeah. Because as we said before, R that means récolte in French, so harvest in English, and 13 it's the year. Because for this one, we put 83% of the grape from 2013. So it's a lot because normally for a brut non-vintage, you put 30 or 40% of reserve wines at least. Like this, every year you will have the same quality, same product, but us, because we want to work our champagne as wine, we want to create a new, a non-vintage brut every year to do a vertical. So it's very interesting, honestly, and if you want to do it with all your friend, it's very nice, and even during a diner, because that changed a lot. So that's why we do something like very new. It's innovative. We are the only person to do it.
How many years have you been doing it for now? Is this the
since 2010.
2010. Okay,
Yes.
so you could get a back. You could have a vertical. Of
Exactly.
by
And
now.
I did it, and honestly, it's just amazing.
Stunning.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. And it's aged 3 years only, so it's a very long time as well for a brut non-vintage, because normally the minimum it's 15 months. So. Yeah.
And it was absolutely amazing. I hadn't tried it before, and I'd said before, a bit of repetition, sorry for Facebook followers there, is that to me, in a blind tasting, I would have hands down thought I was having a vintage champagne. It was absolutely divine. So we're now just about to try the Blanc de Blanc,
It's a Blanc
which
de Blanc.
happens to be Constance's favourite style of champagne. So let's have a chat about this one.
So this one, we put. It depends if you like Chardonnay or no. But this one, it's sometimes some people that don't like the Blanc de Blanc because they say it's too. The acidity is too aggressive. But for this one, we did something different. In fact, we put 60% from Aï. So normally it's a terroir of Pinot Noir, and so that's gonna produce a Chardonnay with a lot of body. So it's more round, more rich. But because we put 40% of the grape from La Côte des Blancs, you will have still a nice freshness, a nice minerality with fresh fruit on the nose. So and it's aged 4 years only. So it's a very elegant Blanc de Blanc. It's not too cheesy, but the acidity is not too aggressive. And for all the range, we always use a subtle dosage because we really don't want to change the wine, the taste of our wine. We want to keep the taste of the terroir.
Wow. You need some water. I forgot to pour you the water before. My apologies. I'm a terrible hostess.
It's okay.
Again, this is really gorgeous.
Oh,
You can
yeah.
smell that.
The brioche aroma, but still a nice freshness because this one it's disgorging like early. It's like July 17, and yesterday, for example, we tested September 16. Oh, it was gorgeous, like more deeper note of maturity and.
Yeah. And it's, I mean, without knowing, with not knowing what you had just told me, I would be going, yes, I can tell it's a Blanc de Blanc, but it does smell a lot more, what's the word? I feel like it's got a lot more body, a lot more robust.
Exactly.
So in summer in Australia, Blanc de Blancs are amazing because our climate is so hot.
Yeah.
That style of Chardonnay, heavy champagne, I mean, I've been drinking it,
Yeah.
a lot of it over the last few months, and you can't see the weather here because we're actually in a gorgeous wine cellar, but in Brisbane this weekend we're about to get 3 months worth of rainfall. So for our last weekend of summer, it's going to be a bit of a bummer because I was planning a Blanc de Blanc fest myself to enjoy the last weekend of summer, but it feels much more like a high Pinot weekend for me, I think, and this is absolutely perfect for this kind of weather where it's still warm, it's muggy, you're probably feeling the humidity.
Yeah, I bring the rain with me. I'm from Champagne. I'm very sad.
I saw all the pictures on Instagram of how beautiful it all looked in the snow because you just had that snowfall so recently.
Very lovely. Yeah.
Is that common? Does it snow every year?
No,
I was gonna
last time
say.
we didn't get any snow, and this year,
Because I've been
a lot,
following for years, and I don't remember ever seeing pictures like
And
that before.
I just checked the weather, and apparently they're gonna expect some snow again, like in 1 week, or it's still far, so maybe that's gonna change. But it's that's.
Did you get to see some of that before you came over here? You were there for the snow?
Oh
Yes.
yeah. I just arrived Saturday evening in Perth, and I flew yesterday morning to Brisbane. Then I go to Sydney
tomorrow. So.
Yeah.
No, this is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Can we get your full range in Australia? Most of the people who follow me are Australian, obviously. They can put up with my Aussie accent most of the time. But I know I've had the vintage, but is the full range available in Australia?
Yeah, of course. You can find it. Should I say it?
Yeah,
Okay.
say it.
In Brisbane, you can find it for example, at the wine shop, the Wine Emporium.
My friends at the Wine Emporium. I love you.
Yeah. and you can find in other places that I have to
Check
Conrad.
Conrad,
But and in Sydney, you can find it in a lot of chamber cellars. The wine shop. After you have many good restaurants, of course, or 5-star hotel as well.
Yes.
But it's because we really want to associate our champagne with gastronomy. So it's always in good place. Like for example, in France, we are in almost all the stars restaurant with 1-star Michelin, étoile Michelin.
Yeah.
And in every place is like very with good food. Like it's we want to.
I think that's a concept that, particularly when it comes to champagne in Australia, we're slowly warming up to. A lot of my friends, because they know I'm obsessed with champagne, will think, oh yeah, that's fine, you have champagne as an aperitif or to celebrate a special occasion, but what do you drink for the rest of the meal? I drink champagne the whole way through. But Australia really is in a place, I think, where most people would be inclined to start with champagne and then move on to wine for the rest of the meal. And I would always say, but champagne is wine. And that's why it's really exciting. And I get a lot of people then ask me, so what would you pair this with if you were having this, or what would you eat with it? Or if they're cooking something particular, they'll go, what kind of champagne would you have with, what fish I'm cooking? But what would you incline to serve the Blanc de Blanc with that we're just trying now?
For Blanc de Blanc, for example, you can have it with oyster, or you can have it with scallops, but even with veal. You have so many things. It depends which sauce you will put, and you can have it with tartare of salmon, of course. With every fish tartare, it's just amazing. But with something always fresh, and with the freshness of the Blanc de Blanc, it will go perfectly. Yes.
And we love, especially in summer, we love seafood and our fresh fish as well.
And even if for the brut, for example, if you drink it with goat cheese, like very fresh cheese, it's wow, it's
amazing.
And even after, you can go for it again for dessert. So with ice cream, and yesterday we added ice cream with apple crumble, and so just a crumble and. Wow, and a pear, and it was just amazing.
That's amazing.
With this, perfect, because this freshness at the end, it's just perfect. That clean your palate, so you don't feel too heavy at the end. So it's just amazing.
Yeah. And I tend to, my best advice is you can pretty much drink champagne with anything. There's a few things that you can't. I think really overpowering foods or something that is really hot or overly spicy, and it will just overpower the champagne. But there's not too much in my experience that you can't drink. You can't eat with champagne.
And it's, even for spicy food, you have so many wines that you can't drink with the spicy food. If it's too tannic, if you drink spicy food with tannic champagne, you're gonna die. It's gonna burn. So you have to, with spicy food, you can just drink champagne or wine, very very fruity. So go for a Pinot Meunier, for example. But still, it's.
And if you're in my house, if you can't pair it with champagne, you won't be eating it. So I will choose the champagne over the food any day of the week. So that's absolutely adorable. I love that. It's gorgeous.
Do you want me to take another glasses for the rosé, or you want to keep the same?
I can get the glasses and you can start talking about the rosé. Anybody who's been following me for a while will know that I'm obsessed with champagne full stop, but I am massively obsessed with rosé. I love rosé. It's my favourite style of champagne.
And especially for this one, because we do a new method. We invited a new method, in fact, and we call it millefeuille. So it's like a dessert in France. And so we crush the grape. So it's just Pinot Noir and Chardonnay, of course. So we crush the grape and we put directly in the vat Pinot Noir, Chardonnay. So different lines. So it's like the dessert. And with a warm temperature, just a couple of hours, because we want to extract a nice salmon color, as you will see. And
beautiful. Is that a common technique?
To layer it? Only
one
person.
that
We
does
invented
it,
this method,
Yeah. And I'm learning French at the moment, so millefeuille is 1,000 layers?
Yeah, it's like, exactly.
Is that what it means?
Yeah.
Yay! My French is coming along slowly.
So it's a very lovely dessert in France. So just a couple of hours like this, you can see it's a nice salmon colors. It's very elegant, very light, and because we crush the grape and we put directly in the vat, you will have a natural blend in the vat, and so the juice will be in contact with the skin, so that's gonna extract this nice salmon colors. But after just a couple of hours, and we bleed, because we don't want to extract too much tannin, with the pips. So we won't press as well, because we don't want, as I said, to extract too much tannin or color, and bitterness, because we don't like bitterness. So as you will see, our range is not bitter at all. and but still it depends what you like. And for this one, so yeah, we bleed, and after we put in a colder vat, and the alcoholic fermentation can start. So it's just like a short maturation before the alcoholic fermentation, and yeah, and after it's aged 4 years on lees, so it's a very long time.
For a non-vintage still?
Yeah, still a non-vintage.
And again, all Grand Cru?
Yeah, it's just Grand Cru. We are very focused here. Yeah. This one is, even if you're not a rosé person, because me, honestly, at the beginning, I wasn't, for still wine, I don't like rosé. I don't used to drink rosé. And for champagne, normally no, because for me, it's sometimes too aggressive, too tannic, and I don't like bitterness. But this one, it's very elegant. You can see, smell nice fruity notes, like white strawberry. And you have a nice minerality as well with the Chardonnay.
I was going to say,
yeah.
I'm still getting really, it's chalky and I'm getting that mineral.
Yeah,
Stronger,
exactly.
not stronger, but
No.
normally in a rosé you get the berries or the strawberries.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
my first hit was of the
Minerality,
chalkiness,
yeah.
minerality.
Yeah, this one is because of the Chardonnay, so it's and it's very easy to drink. It's elegant. It's nice freshness as well and creamy form.
That's stunning. Absolutely stunning. I love that.
Oh, that's very lovely.
Very, very subtle.
Yeah, exactly. And for this one, the dosage is 9 as a Blanc de Blanc. So it was 9 grams per liter, so it's not a lot. And this one, the disgorging date is the same, July 17. And if you want to, like a champagne, a rosé, like with deeper note of maturity, same. You're gonna just wait a little bit, a couple of months, and yeah, you will have deeper note of maturity. So it's depends what you like.
I love that. It's absolutely gorgeous.
And even the shape of the bottle, it's very lovely because it's compared to this one. I don't know if you can see it. Well, I don't know if you can see it very well here, but it's shorter. You know this one.
The rosé,
Yeah.
and a little curvier.
It's like it's bigger here, and
Yeah.
so it's cute. It's like a
Absolutely lovely.
and now we're gonna test the vintage.
Yes.
And this one, it's very powerful, so it depends what you like.
Definitely need new glasses after the rosé, so let me grab those from around the corner.
So normally a vintage, it's aged at least 5 years on lees. But this one, it was aged 9 years. And we still get some 2008 on lees at the winery. So if you want to order more, of course it's possible. And it will age like more time on lees. So yeah, all the grapes come from 2008. And we put on this one 45% of Chardonnay and 55% of Pinot Noir. On the vintage, we will put a little bit more Chardonnay because we'll have more acidity and more freshness. And it's very important to keep to have a nice acidity and freshness as well if you want to age your wine. So you will test it and you will say to me what you think. But it will be more. It's more powerful, more complexity. You have deeper note of maturity, so it's like more honey, wax as well.
And I just wrote a post this week talking about good vintages, the differences between different vintages and how the weather. 2008, fair to say, was a pretty good vintage.
Yeah, exactly. It was for almost all the champagne house. It was a wonderful vintage as 2006, because to have a good vintage, so the winter it's always cold, no worries. But after it's important if you have a spring like hot, warm, and a little bit dry. And after it's important for the flowering. If it's not too windy as well, because if it's too windy, the flower gonna go away.
Yep.
And you will have some small disease after. So if same, it's for the summer, it's hot and dry with a little bit of rain at this time, it's perfect. And if in July you don't have, in August you don't have, if in August, sorry, you don't have too much rain, it's perfect because like this maturation, the concentration of your berries will be like very fun. We will have more sugar and if you have some rain, in fact, it's gonna put some water in the berries. So that the concentration with the acidity and sugar will be with the water. It will be like less. You want berries like very rich. So powerful. Yeah. And the best is if you have a little bit and if the humidity is not too high, it's perfect as well because if you have too humidity and bad weather, you will have some botrytis.
Yeah.
So you have, I just say like very quickly, but you have so many things. It's nice as well if you have a slow maturation. So if you have a colder night during like September, for example, and if the weather of the day is hot and dry as well. So.
Yeah. It's such a must be so hard because
Yeah.
so much of what you do is completely and utterly out of your control. As
definitely.
winemakers,
Yeah.
you know, you can be the most talented at tending to the vines and in the cellars doing the blending,
exactly.
but the weather comes along and the weather gods will bless you or not
it's,
some
it's
years.
scary. It's scary. It's scary sometimes because like for example last year many wineries get some frost and after some a lot of rain, so that breaks the berry. You know, if you have too much rain like in August, it's terrible because it's gonna break all the berry, and after with the humidity, it's full of disease. So it's and hopefully us we didn't get, so it was perfect. But I have some friends here in Bordeaux, they lose like 85% of the production. And when you lose some production like this year, it will be also the same the year after. You won't have a very good production the year after. So
Yeah. Which, I mean, the bad news for us is that, you know, potentially there's not enough champagne to go around. No, the beauty, I guess, is the Champagne region's relatively big. So if the area at the north is affected, maybe, you know, vineyards from the south are
it's more
not
the south
so,
this year,
that gets affected. So it doesn't necessarily wipe out the entire region. But it's...
and because of the reserves wine as well, you can balance in Champagne, and they just lose 15 or 20% of the grapes sometimes, and or maybe more, of course, in the south. But with the reserves wines, you always can balance. So they won't do a vintage, definitely, but they can do like a brut and a rosé and blanc de blanc, good, because they will put 30 or 40% of reserves wines. And us, we are lucky because we always put less than 20% of reserves wines, so touch wood.
Is there a trend for doing I mean, how it's up to obviously each house or each grower, producer, how often they call a vintage. But do you think vintages are being called more often, or it hasn't really changed in terms of the number of, in 10 years, they'd call maybe 3 vintages? Is that increasing or not really changing?
No, it depends. For example, us, we did the vintage 2003, 2002, 3, 6, 8, 10, and after we will see. Normally 14.
Yeah.
But but it depends for every champagne house.
Yeah.
For champagne house, 2003 and 2010, that wasn't good at all.
Weren't good years, no. But you did make a 2003?
Yeah. Because for us, our vineyards were very well located, and so we didn't get any disease, and the acidity was perfect. With the balance with sugar and acidity was very good. So in fact, we did it. It depends. Every champagne house are different. It's like for in wine, the terroir, everything, it's all different. That's why us it's very nice because we built a new cellar in 2012 and we have 55 vats inside. So we keep every parcel separately.
So each vineyard, you separate them for the
and because it's small vineyards in Champagne, so every vineyard it's kept separately, and like this you can take care like every terroir, every variety. So it's very some people just can't keep separately everything, so they have to blend, and sometimes the quality when you blend not good enough.
Yes.
It depends. Sometimes they don't want to do vintage.
But I think the good thing is Champagne, your reputation is the quality, no matter what the house, it's the region, it's all about the quality, so you can be assured that, you know, you're not going to compromise on quality. Speaking of quality and good vintages, we've got this sitting in front of us and we've resisted having a... Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is my favorite. After it depends if you like complexity and richness like this, but it's always this one.
Wow, that's really, really...
very. That's very lovely.
It is old, but it's not. You know, it smells really aged to me.
But because the disgorging date is young, it's you have still this nice freshness and even a small acidity, but not too aggressive. So it's very.
For a pretty evenly balanced blend as well. You said 55 Pinot Noir and 45 Chardonnay. that is
No,
absolutely
it's,
gorgeous. I think I must have, it's probably been 18 months since I tried the 2008.
Yeah.
So I must have had it probably when it was maybe first released. So I can see that it has really, and I probably did think at the time, and I might have even put it on my Instagram, it might have been a bit young, but now, wow.
Yeah, so that's why if you drink maybe too soon after the disgorging date, or if it was like 6 or 7 years on lease, I don't know which one you tested, but it's it's always changed. Like for example, yesterday my friend told me, oh, it's strange, I tasted all the bottle of 2008, and it was I felt this difference. I was like, yeah, did you check the disgorging date? And we check it, and it was like 2016 one and 2017 the other one, and I was like, yeah, it's normal. And so that's why it's important and interesting to put the disgorging date on the back label.
Which is, and I wrote a post about how to store champagne, which is a funny place for it to come up, but that's where it came up about disgorgement date on the back of the bottle. Not every house does it, so there's inconsistency. So you don't necessarily know when you get the champagne in Australia anyway. But there is a trend towards doing it more often, and I think the geekier you are about your champagne, and I get pretty geeky about it, the more interesting that is to be able to see that as well. So wow, that's just amazing. I can see it's almost like every one of the 4 champagnes that we just tasted. This is quite a common occurrence for me. Everyone then becomes my favourite. It's hard to just pick
that's
one
when
stands
you
out.
asked me before, which one is your favorite? I'm like, I can't. So which one is your favorite?
Look, for different reasons, I loved the one that we tried to start with, the Air 013, because I just think for a non-vintage champagne, it's absolutely sensational. I love the rosé because I love rosé, and that was beautiful. I loved how even though it's predominantly Pinot Noir and it's predominantly red grape, you still get that chalky freshness, which to me is my preferred style. That they just sit together so beautifully. One doesn't overpower the other. I mean, the vintage is stunning, but it's 2008, and it's always going to be poor old Blanc de Blanc. I've grown to appreciate Blanc de Blanc a lot more. But I used to think, it's not complex enough to me, and I do absolutely love it, but I think I probably have that bias towards Pinot heavy champagne, so when you're going to hit me with the 2008 that's got that really, really powerful, it's as much as I did love the Blanc de Blanc, I'm probably going to have to say that, it would have been the 2008 was the standout for me.
No, it's very good.
But I think Blanc de Blancs too there's so much more diversity now. Are you trying any different styles as well?
Exactly.
Is this your full range, or do you have more?
No, we
that
have
you
more.
haven't brought
In
with
fact,
you?
we have more. We have the Brut Nature as well. So it's very, it's very good to do because you can do like you take the Brut non-vintage and you take the Brut Nature and you can compare because for it's the same quality, same wine inside, but you just don't add sugar on the Brut Nature. So you're gonna think it will be like more with more acidity, but in fact, when because it's aged like still 3 years on lease, so because of the lease, you will have the creamy and full and round side, so it's not aggressive, the acidity, so it's very very nice also. After to finish with the Serie Air, we have the extra dosage. So on this one we add 18 grams of sugar. But it's still not a lot for extra dosage, and the sweetness is very well integrated, so it's very good as well. And for Chinese food, for example, and more spicy food as well, it's good. It's good. We have after we have our cuvée, we call it ouvrage. So in fact, we have everything.
Oh, I was reading about that one today. I was on your website.
You will enjoy this one because it's more Pinot Noir on this one. It's 70% of Pinot Noir. So it's this one.
That's the Cuvée de Prestige for their house, which would be extraordinary.
In fact, for this one, everything is made by hand. So all the riddling and the disgorging. So it's just 2% can do it because it's a lot of work. And if you don't do it to the disgorging very well, you're gonna lose all the champagne. So please no.
What's your current vintage for the?
It's not vintage.
Oh, it's not vintage.
But because it's aged at least 5 years on lease. It's like it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
And it's aged on a cork. it's not on a crown cap. So for this one, you will have a micro oxygenation, so that's gonna bring like a little bit of oxygen on your wine, but it's little bit. It's all in control, of course. And so you will have dry fruit on the note, on the dry fruit note. Sorry, on the nose. So it's like wow.
Because a lot of people probably don't realise, and I didn't realise till the first time I toured through some cellars, is that when they do the aging, the cork kind of isn't added, not until it's not the last thing, but it's quite a long way at the end. So when they do the aging, it's aged on crown cap, which, to contextualise it for us Aussies, is a bit like a bottle top off a bottle of beer. So in the cellars, they sit on the exact same looking thing there. So interesting that, you use the cork in the cellars. So,
and so before the disgorging, we have, after the disgorging, we have to test all the wine to see if there is no
oxidation.
Yeah, exactly. So no problem with the cork.
Yeah.
And so it's you have to test the 3,000 bottle. Again, it's not in the same day.
Yeah. No. give them some time. And do you use cork, or do you use a different kind of closure?
For this one, we use cork. But it's like cork, like for champagne cork. It's like this one, on the bottle.
Yes.
And it's so it's it's not like for wine, still wine.
No,
it's not the same.
Yeah.
So because of the pressure as well, and so after the disgorging, before the disgorging, we do all the ripening by hand, and it's aged 5 years on lees, and it's still very complex, rich, but more dry fruit on the nose, and it's very good.
Amazing. Well, maybe when I'm off to Champagne in June, July for a visit, maybe I'll get to visit. We can catch up again, and I can try that one. So
exactly.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah, and we have even 2 more cuvées. It's one Blanc de Blanc, just come from Haï, so it's really good. And so we're gonna
single village, or not single vineyard, just single village.
Single village and vineyard as well. So it's very good. And we did the same thing for Blanc de Noir, so just from Pinot Noir, from Haï as well. Yeah. So in Provine, for example, we're gonna start to do the tasting for all our customers, and it's very new, and it's it will be very good.
That's a really exciting style, and it's kind of one that if you are new on your champagne journey, I probably would say leave it for a few years down the track. But I find Blanc de Noirs, which is the opposite of a Blanc de Blanc. So Blanc de Blanc is white wine made from white grapes, and Blanc de Noir is white wine made from black grapes. So it's 100% Pinot Noir. So hear me talking about how much I love the Pinot. So but it's a very intense. It can be a bit confronting, and it's, I think, a lot of the time, because particularly in Australia, we sort of have a perception around, I was saying earlier, champagne being at the beginning or a celebration. It's an aperitif. It's not something that you traditionally drink throughout a meal. I think it's what people don't expect it from champagne. So because it's not, they don't expect it, they don't know how to like it.
Yeah, exactly.
Not that they don't like it, it's just unexpected. So you've got to sort of, I think, work your way up to trying that kind of thing. So that would be really, really exciting. So, well, this has been absolutely fascinating, and I have adored trying your champagnes. They're absolutely amazing. We're actually going down the Gold Coast next week for my mum's 70th birthday, and I have been planning the champagne menu for some time, and there is a trip to the Wine Emporium to see my friends there one day next week to stock up on a few extras. So I think there's going to be a few from the Lallier range that will be accompanying us for our celebratory birthday dinner for mum. So she loves rosé. Never used to much be into champagne, but I've sort of converted her. So she gets to taste an awful lot of champagne. Most people would be insanely jealous of somebody who knows nothing about wine, and I don't really care for wine, the amount of champagne that she gets to drink through me. So she's a very lucky lady. So thank you so much.
Thanks to you for your time, and I hope you will enjoy, of course.
And this will be kept on the page, and I'll share this back out to my subscribers, and I'll do a little bit of editing on the video and send it around so you can see the labels up nice and close, and a few links to things that explain some of the terms that we talk throughout. So on my website, where we talk about dosage and degorgement and all those other terms that we talked about, they're all on my Grand Cru,
just Pinot Noir and Chardonnay. We put everything on the back label, so the village where the wine comes from, the disgorging, and we use our own yeast, so that's very important, so less sulfur. and unique taste.
And in Instagram would have missed it early on that no Pinot Meunier.
Yeah,
in
no
your
Pinot
wines.
Meunier. You don't have Pinot Meunier in Grand Cru Village, in fact.
No, true.
Yeah.
There's no,
And
yeah.
we always use a subtle dosage because we don't want to change the taste of our wine, because we want to keep the taste of the terroir.
Yeah.
So it's
all important when it comes to champagne. So thank you so very, very much, everybody, for watching. And if you've got any questions, you can pop them in the comments below. I'll be at home tonight waiting, hopefully, because sometimes it's great to have someone to talk to. Often when I do my Facebook Lives, it's just me talking to camera. So it's been fantastic chatting this afternoon, but I love it when you chat back. So ask me questions. I'll be more than happy to answer them. And if I can't answer them, then I'll pick you an email and see. But I'm sure you've just done such an in-depth description of your wines that I can't imagine there's nothing that we can't solve on our own. So, well, hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful evening and stay safe in the rain. And please join me in thanking Constance for her time this afternoon. Wishing her very, very safe travels and a very safe trip back to Champagne.
Yeah.
Au revoir.
Au revoir. Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup. Such a huge thank you to Constance for doing this interview with me for all of us. And just a reminder, if you've got any more questions, you want to know anything more about Lallier, you can find the URL on the screen. You can also go over to bubbleandflute.com. And in Australia, I strongly recommend, if you want to order Champagne Lallier, thewinemporium.com.au is the place to go. Thanks for listening.